Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. If this is your very first time to the channel, welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, Odyssey, or BitChute, thank you guys for the continued support as we are continuing to grow on new tech, and I'm very happy about it, especially in this 2022 year. And of course, all of you dedicated people here on YouTube. And I've been hearing a lot from old school subscribers who are still watching the channel. So thanks to all of you guys for your continued support here on the channel. It is greatly appreciated.
We start things off from the Washington Examiner. Joe Rogan takedown bid seen as coordinated attack. The effort to take down podcast king Joe Rogan is increasingly being seen as a coordinated campaign to silence an influential figure with a massive audience and an independent streak. That campaign seemingly started in mid-January when a group of scientific experts sent a letter to Spotify accusing Rogan of spreading misinformation on his podcast episodes about C-19. It escalated this week with the emergence on social media of a video splicing together racist language Rogan had used in the past, drawing fierce reactions from both Rogan's defenders and detractors. That's correct. As we have talked about here on the channel, going all the way back to Molly Ball's article, these are coordinated efforts by establishment types utilizing, encouraging woke, cancel culture, and outrage mobs to attack certain people, because the people who benefit from this nonsense is the establishment. Right now, the establishment is in charge. They got a president elected, and now they want to censor and shut people down who aren't part of the narrative. And this is quite interesting because they talk about these scientific experts. Well, it first started off as doctors, but the reality of it is, it was, if you really want to be technical about it, these were individuals, some of them individuals, that have PhDs and say things like library science or museum curation or museum directors. And that's not to disparage those individuals. I'm simply saying that the left has basically hijacked our culture, hijacked everything within our culture. And they will use they will use experts, PhDs, whomever, to justify their narrative, because they will say, these are the experts. These are the people that everyone should be listening to, and we're on their side, and so you should be doing what they say. But the thing that they don't take into account, and I say this quite often sometimes back in the days of when I was involved in Christian apologetics, is that science and logic are not absolutes that govern the universe, nor are they laws or bases of principle in which human beings conduct their lives. All right? Human beings have agency. Human beings have nuance. There are things within our society that aren't black and white, that aren't that narrow, that don't come down to, ultimatums. Get the vaccine or lose your job. That is absurd, because there's ramifications to that. And we've seen that when we've seen those ramifications. And here's the curious thing, right? We're talking about PhDs, we're talking about experts, we're talking about medical doctors in the field. Who better to talk to than this particular medical expert? I don't think I can mention his name here on YouTube, so I won't. You guys can read it right there on the screen. This particular medical expert is the person who discovered the mRNA technology. If you are going to talk to anyone in particular about the vaccine, how it works, what's in it, it will be this particular medical doctor. So what started the controversy? What started the problem? Well, and I don't want to speak for this particular doctor, so I'm going to paraphrase. He essentially said that the vaccine should be used responsibly, right? In other words, like any commercial you see on television, or when I do reviews here on any products, we always have disclaimers saying, consult your medical professional, consult your doctor. Talk to an expert who knows your history, knows your background, knows your allergies, knows procedures you've had performed, knows your surgeries, knows what medication you're on, because those individuals can give you better advice than the government. The government is not a doctor. Joe Biden is not a doctor. Now, he may have medical experts on his staff, but you can't just have a blanket statement made and just tell everyone out there to go get a shot, right? It's like telling everyone to go out and eat this particular type of chocolate when there's diabetics and other people that have other issues, right? So this blanket statement about going out and just getting everyone vaccinated is really kind of irresponsible, in my opinion. Because if I'm not a medical expert, but I want people to make the responsible choices. I want them to talk to someone before they have something that's lifelong lasting, right? Just like at work. I mean, if you get vaccinated, that is a lifelong procedure on your person. So you have to decide, do I want to keep this job and perform a procedure that's going to affect potentially my life for the rest of my life? What are my recourses? What are my options? Can people just sue? Can they sue their businesses, place of work? If they get ill, can they sue the government if they get ill from these procedures? So these are things that people need to consider and think about. And it's just amazing to me how polarizing this is. But if the left can take something, or even if the right can take something and use it against people, they're going to, because that is the environment and culture, sadly, that we're in at the moment. And now we have seen already calls for even more action against Joe Rogan. Of course, as we've seen, as the article said, they're going back in time to look for anything to go after him. These are very vindictive, angst-filled, hate-filled individuals who want to destroy people. They don't want to silence Joe Rogan. Oh, let me put it to you this way. They don't simply want Joe Rogan to apologize. They want Joe Rogan removed, destroyed, and eliminated, like Alex Jones and like President Trump. These people are not satisfied with apologies. You are not going to apologize your way into their graces. You are not going to apologize your way into their collective to where they then accept you and recognize and respect your decision to have made a apology to them. No, they're not satisfied with it. And we see it right here. Neil Young tells Spotify staff to quit. Well, okay, wait a minute. First he said, if you're going to have Joe Rogan on Spotify, I'm removing my music. Well, that happened. And so he was removed. And he's like, uh-oh, that didn't work. I need to try something else. Why? Because that wasn't the objective. The objective is to shut anyone and everyone down who is not part of the narrative, who is not part of the establishment. Neil Young tells Spotify staff to quit. Young continues to campaign for censorship on the platform after pulling his music. Censorship is the key word. Two key words here I want you guys to remember. Coordinated effort, and censorship. These people want to shut you down. As Tim Pool says, they are essentially a cult. And the way to keep the fold in line is to make sure that they can't hear dissenting voices, that they can't hear other individuals speaking out against what the cult is trying to preach. So here we have a perfect example of Neil Young not being satisfied with Spotify removing his content like he asked, although he doesn't really own it. It's owned by other agencies and companies. Ironically enough, it's partly owned by a former CEO of Pfizer, which makes things all that much more interesting and ties all of the coordinatedness together. So we see here, about 2 weeks ago, as you know, Neil Young gave Spotify an ultimatum. Oh, ultimatum, that sounds familiar, like getting a vaccine or not having a job. Either him or Rogan, right? So the platform chose Rogan, with whom they have a contractual obligation. Not only that, they invested $100 billion in Rogan. Now the rock star wants Spotify employees that disagree with Rogan being on the platform to quit. So there you have it. It isn't just about him removing his music or Joe apologizing. They want people eviscerated. They want people gone, to disappear. Trump tells Joe Rogan to stop apologizing for Spotify controversies. Absolutely correct. You cannot apologize your way out of these individuals' little trap. And it is a trap. They don't just, it's so sad and pathetic to see this. They don't want just an apology. They don't just want compliance. They don't just want people to be part of their narrative. They want people who oppose them in any way destroyed. And President Trump tells Joe Rogan to stop apologizing for Spotify controversy. And I totally agree. And Joe this week and Spotify came out again with some very tepid, very lukewarm type, apology, particularly when they attacked him. Now, this is just the dirty underhanded tricks that they do, splicing together the language. It's very much like they spliced together the whole Capital 6 event too to make it look worse than it actually was. Or they just put things together to put things into people's mouths to make them say the things that they want them to say so that they can cancel them. And that's the absurdity of it all. And of course, that's what I have for you guys this week in the Friday Vlog.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday Vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. It does help a great deal, especially here on YouTube. And all the thanks I get from those on Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute. It's been really interesting to see the growth. And as we probably get closer to the midterm, we'll probably see a little bit more growth. And also hearing from all the old school subscribers here on the channel who started off mostly in gaming, but have stuck around. So thank you to all of you guys that have continued to help the channel grow and expand, particularly during these very challenging times for all YouTube creators. So I appreciate all your guys' help. So appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon to subscribe here on YouTube. And of course, you can click on that to do exactly that, subscribe, as well as notifications. That way you guys will know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys right there behind that camera next Friday.